Hey guys, I want to talk about our story, The Bad Seed. Today we read the story by Jory John. In this book, The Bad Seed has the opportunity to make lots of choices. While reading this book, we got to see the choices that the bad seed makes. We also got to see how his choices affected his life and how his choices affected the other people around him. As we read through this book, I wanted you to listen for the choices that the bad seed makes and think about whether or not you agree with his choices. One of the choices that he makes is when he says the bad seed said that he kept himself and drifted. When someone drifts around, he or she is traveling from place to place without a plan. How do you think that the bad seed feels when he's drifting? Probably not very good, right? The bad seed said, I've made a big decision. I've decided I don't want to be a bad seed anymore. Why do you think the bad seed wants to make a change? Do you think the change will be easy or hard for the bad seed to make? These are all some of the things that really relate to us too, right? So today you have this compare and contrast, the bad seed versus the good seed, when he was thinking bad and feeling bad, and when he was feeling good, right? But then we have that center section that is all about what they have in common, what these two seeds have in common. So a great way to do this when you have a Venn diagram is to think about categories. What are the categories that the good seed and the bad seed had in common? Lots of questions, right? So, one of the things I was thinking about were the things that he did. So, these are my categories. Oh, sorry. Make sure I got this. Categories. Oh, it doesn't want to do it. Things our seed said, the things he did, and maybe even some of the things that he heard. Is there another category that you could think of? Maybe the way he felt. These could all be categories that we use to keep in our mind as we're thinking about our bad seed and our good seed. So, the bad seed, one thing that he did is he was always late. He was late everywhere he went. So, I'm going to put late on the bad seed. He never put things back. So, I'm going to put that on the bad seed. He never washed his hands. That's something he did, wasn't it? So these are all things that he did, right? He did this, he did this. Okay. What might be something that he said? Something that the bad seed said. He kept saying in his mind that he was a bad seed, right? He kept saying, over and over again. Right? That was something he said. Something he heard too. Others around him said that he was a bad seed, right? He would glare. That was another thing. His looks. Then he would give dirty looks, kind of glaring, and act like he's a bad seed. So things that he wanted to do when he was a good seed. So things that he thought, right? He made that change. He decided to change. That's something he did, right? He decided to start saying thank you and saying please, right? That was a big change. He also said things like, I heard him say that he's not a bad seed anymore. That was something he heard. He still did some bad things, right? But heard or say or heard. He still did some bad things, so made that kind of that thing they have in common, right? So sometimes he would forget to listen, but that didn't make him bad all the time. Sometimes he might show up late or talk during movies. He might, he kind of had a rough start, right? He got spit out in the dark, in the dark bag. So these are some of my ideas where, again, I tried to look for the things that he said, things that he did, and things that he heard to fill in my Venn diagram. Whenever I see a Venn diagram, I always try to get at least 3 to 5 ideas, right? In each category. That's what we're looking for, 3 to 5. So you can use some of mine, or maybe you want to come up with some of your own. I hope this helped and have a great week.